Franklin pulls off a retaliation we weren't expecting just when it thought he couldn't be more ruthless. Franklin strikes Teddy, applying the adage an eye for an eye, in a move that will undoubtedly up the ante in their conflict. In addition to Franklin's huge play, Jerome, Gustavo, and Leon also make appearances in Snowfall Season 6 Episode 5. Jerome also expresses his frustration with the drug trade. Once more, Veronique and Cassandra are caught up in a plot. They begin their plan by keeping an eye on a building in Kansas City late at night. Cassandra queries her daughter about Franklin's exit strategy while they wait. Veronique objects to the need for one, but her mother reprimands her for never being without one, especially when dating a guy like Franklin. They spend their entire lives seeking to make themselves complete at any cost, as Cassandra puts it. They stop talking when Teddy's father, Colonel McDonald, comes into view. The mother and daughter team arrives the following day at the assisted care facility where Colonel McDonald is residing. Veronique is able to distract the personnel while Cassandra makes friends with Teddy's dad by pretending that she is allowing Cassandra into the institution. The colonel reveals to Cassandra that he has lung cancer and regrets not making amends with Teddy before things between them deteriorated so much. Cassandra proposes that they take Veronique's car and flee after changing the topic of the talk to the circumstances of the assisted care facility. The two take off in their car after he seizes the chance. Franklin becomes noticeably uneasy as Kane shouts about Louis and Jerome putting a hit on his life while chatting to Kane in his new hideout. Kane insists that Franklin assist him in permanently ending the opposing saints. When the Kingpin sees a picture of a horse on TV at that point, a light bulb begins to go out in his head. By the second half of the episode, Kane's men are approaching Louis's regular destination, a horse stable. This decision looks somewhat concerning for Franklin's future because it mandates that these men watch over the land and keep an eye out for her aunt. It's Dion's adherents as well as Einstein. They tell Leon that his adversary has fled to the home of his girlfriend while carrying off all the crew's cash and drugs. The men respond that there are many individuals seeking to take over who are worse than Dion when Leon openly asks who else wants to be in command. With that knowledge, Leon grabs his rifle, enters the neighborhood courtyard, and yells that Leon is now in command of the projects and that Dion is no longer in charge if anyone wants to make money and survive the hit, according to disgraced former officer Buckley, who informs Jerome and Louis. Louis and Jerome are baffled by how that is possible until Buckley explains that Franklin helped Kane. Louis is unconcerned by the revelation that Franklin lived with Kane, but Jerome is visibly concerned. Later, Dion meets with Jerome and requests his assistance in getting revenge on Leon. Jerome declines to get involved, but Dion is reminded of a time when he assisted Jerome in a plot to trick Franklin into giving up his drugs. The older saint continues to be uninterested and claims that OGs like him are a fading breed and that the younger hustlers lack morals and respect. Dion responds that while Jerome might be a disappearing breed, he is not. Teddy McDonald and Gustavo Zapata are discussing outside in the Snowfall season when Gustavo discloses that he still has to pick a side in the three-way covert operations conflict. When he finally tells Xiomara that he is an informant for the D, she is not pleased. The D is planning to search Teddy's warehouse the following day, which would require him to enter witness protection. He then reveals Gustavo is aware that Xiomara is insistent that she and the boys won't accompany him. He asks her to leave town right now and pack her luggage in its place. Xiomara won't run either, though. She insists that Gustavo do all possible to provide her and the boys a normal life. Assures Gustavo that nothing should bother him because he transferred the drugs out of the warehouse in case the KGB was looking for him. Gustavo is taken aback to learn that Teddy was aware Ruben had approached him. Later, while Teddy transported the drugs, Gustavo makes a call to the D to tell them not to raid the warehouse. Gustavo's actual loyalty is currently up for debate. Teddy enters Ruben's residence. Speaking about the KGB agent, Teddy looks into Ruben using his connections at the CIA. Teddy has discovered Ruben's residence. Teddy breaks in when the former notices the latter leaving his house. Teddy meticulously searches the area, but he is unable to locate anything that would indicate how much the KGB is aware of how the CIA operates. The undercover mission is almost a failure until he discovers a hidden shelving unit that has many magazines that seem to indicate Ruben is gay. Franklin is picked up by Veronique at the airport and driven to the location where Cassandra has been diverting Colonel McDonald back in Kansas City. Franklin engages the elder man in some heartfelt greetings before using a phone to page Teddy. Franklin informs Teddy that he is with Colonel McDonald when Teddy calls him back, which at first doesn't alarm Teddy. Franklin then insists that Teddy return the millions of dollars he stole, but Teddy is adamant that he cannot just do so and begs Franklin not to take on him and the CIA. When Teddy is on the phone, Franklin then brazenly stabs Colonel McDonald in the neck. Teddy is in amazement as he witnesses his father gargle blood and pass away, while Veronique and Cassandra are horrified that Franklin would go to such lengths. Franklin exits the building after setting it on fire as Teddy's father is left to burn as the scene comes to a close. Every Wednesday on FX, Snowfall Season 6 continues to run.